This is the final boarding call for all remaining passengers. Please now make your way to the gate. The podcast is about to begin.
Welcome to this week's episode of Let's Talk About Travel. And I have another special guest on this week. I'm loving doing these podcasts because I get all my pals on. I'm joined with Jason Kemp from G Touring. So to me, that's Travelsphere Holidays and Just You Holidays. And I've known Jason for a long, long time. So thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And before we start talking about Travelsphere and Just You, let's just talk about Jason and your journey in the travel industry. And I've known you for a long time, Jason.
Yes, longer than we care to admit.
We were just talking about age before we come on air there. So tell us a little bit about Jason.
So Jason, I've worked in travel pretty much since 1998. I started off, obviously I left school, I went to university, Napier University in Edinburgh, and studied Spanish and business studies, and then as part of my course, the third year, we spent 6 months overseas, and I worked in Logroño in northern Spain for General Motors in their finance department. It was part of the course, and because I spent that 6 months, so that was like a 6 months of the summer that I spent in northern Spain, it kind of gave me the taste for travel and wanting to work abroad. So I came back, completed my degree.
Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah, hablo español.
I didn't know that. See, things I'm learning today.
Un poquito.
I can say sangria, and that's about it.
Cerveza.
Yeah. It's all you really need,
all you really need, the basics
Paella.
to get by. I came back, started off working for Travel Choice, who were part of First Choice Retail. I worked with them for a couple of years, got promoted to assistant manager. But
you've actually done retail travel, so you've been in our shoes. Right, okay.
I've done 2 stints in retail, actually, which I'll come back to. So anyway, I'd done 2 years. I'd been promoted to assistant manager, but then there was always that nagging feeling at the back of my mind that I still wanted to go and work overseas. So I went abroad and worked for Sunworld. Do you remember them?
Yes, I do.
I'd done a summer in Mallorca and I'd done a winter in Lanzarote.
Were Sunworld part of the Intersun group eventually?
Yeah, they were, yeah. So when I worked for them, they bought Sunset and Inspirations.
Oh, they were such good companies.
And Flying Colours, the airline. Do you remember them?
Yeah, I do. I'm showing my age, but
I know,
yes,
me
I do.
too, aye. And then when I left them to then go join Thomson, as they were at the time. That was before TUI took them over and everything.
I still call them Thomsons.
Still Thomson,
I
aye.
know.
And the only reason I moved was I did love Sunworld, but the reason I moved was at the time Thomson were given annual contracts for overseas staff, so you were guaranteed work all year round, and you used to get 6 weeks paid leave in the winter. Whereas with Sunworld, you only worked
seasonal.
Either first half or second half winter, and you had to take 3 months unpaid leave. So it just made sense. So
you actually did repping then?
Yeah. So I'd done the summer and the winter season with Sunworld. And then I joined Thomson in 2001, and I'd done 5 summers with them and 5 winters, and I worked my way up. So I started off as a holiday rep the first year, then I was team leader for 2 years, then I was resort manager for my final 2 years. So I used to look after, a team of 40 staff.
Brilliant.
Across like 3 different resorts. Must admit, a lot of the fun went out of it then, because you were dealing with, proper emergencies. Yeah. You were on like 24 call, and used to get some horrible call outs.
So no more phone parties, it was all in
No more phone parties, no. More parties in the hospital overnight, yeah. So used to deal with some right unpleasant incidents. Anyway, then I hit 30, I had a bit of a early midlife crisis, and I thought, right, all my friends at home have got like houses and nice cars, and I'm just like...
Your liver needed a break.
Aye, my liver needed a break. So I decided to come home in 2006. So I got a job with Globespan, another blast for the past.
Another great name from the past.
I know.
Yeah.
And I worked with them for 3 years. I worked in reservations and I worked in customer services as well. And then I was with them pretty much until just before they went under in 2009. I got made redundant about 3 months before they went. I got made redundant in the August, and I think they went in the December.
I remember it well.
I know, yeah.
So sad.
I bet you were dealing with the fallout as well, because they were massive in Scotland.
Their biggest supplier.
Such a shame, yeah. So then I went back to First Choice Retail. My old boss was the regional sales manager at the time, so he had a manager's job in Shields, and he said to me, if you want it, it's yours. And I was like, well, you've been made redundant. Absolutely, I'll take it.
I had to do it.
So I was manager of First Choice Shields for 2 years, and then I moved back up to Edinburgh, and I was in Cameron Toll in the shopping centre in Edinburgh, a manager there for 2 years. And then I decided I wanted to do this kind of role, this on the road role for a supplier. So I applied for a job at Balkan Holidays.
They were good days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was February 2012, and I got the job, and I started in the May.
So that's when I think I first met you then.
And that's when we would have first met,
unless we maybe met, you know, at various events.
SBA events, maybe, and stuff like that.
But actually coming into the office was in 2012.
2012, yeah. I actually remember being at my first Hayes IG conference with you was it in Portugal? Vilamura?
Remember whatever happens at conference stays at conference.
Absolutely, yes. But I think you were on my table for the gala dinner.
I do remember that, actually, yeah.
That was many moons ago, but that would have been November 2012, yeah. So anyway, so I worked for Balkan as regional sales manager for Scotland and Northern Ireland and the North East England. I worked with them, started in 2012, and I was with them until 2018. So nearly 7 years.
You're making yourself sound really old. 5 years here, 5 years.
I know. I make myself feel really old, yeah. And I loved it. I loved my time at Balkan. I mean, sadly, another one that's now gone as well. That was a bit of a shock earlier this year, wasn't it?
See, when you look in, you know, obviously you and I have been in travel a long time. When you look at some of the names we've talked about today, Into Sun, Sun World, Flying Colours, Globespan, just... tragic, isn't it?
No, I mean, I've worked for about 3 or 4 companies that don't even exist anymore.
Is it maybe you then? Just
maybe me.
whoever Jason works for, don't join them. But no, it's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Nature of the beast, yeah. Times have changed so much. Probably since I started in the late 90s in travel, you know yourselves, gone through so much change, isn't it?
It's always changing, always evolving. So after Balkan, you had a short stint with
Yeah, I was with Saga. I started with them in November 2018, and I was only with them for a year and a bit, and then the dreaded C hit, the COVID. So we got furloughed straight away when the UK got put in a lockdown, and then 10 weeks later they made the whole
team.
Trade team redundant. Yeah, so we got made redundant in the June 2020, worst time ever to be made redundant in travel because there was nothing.
Yeah.
So I was quite lucky though. The first job I applied for, Standard Life, for recruiting in Edinburgh for staff, and I got the job. So I worked in pensions for 2.5 years.
But it's nice you're back in travel, because I think one of the saddest things about the dreaded C word and during COVID was we lost a lot of really good people.
A lot of talent,
and travel is definitely not for the money. It's not the most well-paid job, but you do get to travel the world and experience them. So the perks are good.
Yeah.
But once you've maybe gone to the dark side and you've left travel, you know, are you going to come back when the money's not as good? And that's the sad thing. So we're delighted that you're back in
thank you. I'm delighted to be back. I think it probably made me appreciate travel more, working in a different industry. Don't get me wrong, I made some right good friends. First year I worked there, I hadn't set foot in the office because the offices were closed. So you had to learn a whole new job working from home, which was really weird. I mean, we'd done 5 weeks worth of training all over Skype. And then I set foot in the office. It was the 28th of August 2021 was the first day I'd been in the office, and I'd been there for 13 months.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Crazy times, back. Yeah. But yeah, I was always...
pensions compared to selling holidays, I mean, I know somebody's got to sell pensions because it's part of life, but definitely travel has got a lot more va-va-voom.
Yeah, it's a lot more variety,
yes.
shall we say. Yeah, I was doing the same thing every day. It was great, as I say, great, and I'm always grateful to them because paid my mortgage during the
absolutely,
the
kept
COVID
you sane
years.
as well.
Yeah, kept me sane, and I made good friends. It'll be friends for life. But yeah, I was
friends
always
for life at Standard Life.
Friends for life at Standard Life. I don't know a wee bit more about pensions now. It's always handy when you're getting older. But yeah, I always knew like I would be ready to come back to travel when the opportunity arose, and it did. So I came back. November 2022, I got the job at Abercrombie in Kent.
Nice product.
Yeah. as I'm trying to think what my title was there. Trade sales manager for Scotland.
There's so many funny titles in sales teams.
We do the same job, but there's all these different titles. And that was great. Loved it. Great product. That incorporated Cox and Kings as well, because A&K own Cox and Kings. And I was there for... I've been there for just about a year, but the company underwent an awful lot of change while I was there. So the management team that had recruited me both left within my first 4 months in the role. And we didn't have any manager at all, actually, for about 4 months. So we were reporting into someone based in the Chicago office.
You just don't get it, do
Who
they?
don't really understand the UK market. They think those
and the
things work.
Scottish market is also very different from the UK market.
And then the UK market is polar opposite to the American market.
I know.
So that was very frustrating. And then Rachel, who's my boss now at G Touring, have known for many years, and she mentioned to me about they were looking for someone in Scotland, and it felt like the right time and the right role.
And it's a great product.
Yeah, love it.
So most people will know it as Travelsphere Holidays.
Yes.
Which we do a lot of business with. It's a really nice product, which is really a touring business. But what we love in the portfolio is the solo offering.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that first of all.
So I'll give you a bit of background on the company. So Travelsphere started life actually in 1962 as Page and Moy.
Before either of us.
Well before our time, yeah. Sad, I do remember Page and Moy, but yeah.
Well, most people will, because they were huge in readers' offers.
Massive.
Yeah,
massive.
Were they red and yellow? Was that their colours? I think it was.
Yes, I think they were, yeah. And then, so they then rebranded to Travelsphere in 1977.
Right. Long ago was that?
Based out of Market Harborough, which is still where our head office is now. And so Travelsphere continued for 1977, and then we got to the millennium, and there was two directors at the time at Travelsphere that had spotted that the solo market was growing. You know, people wanted to go on holiday on their own for a variety of different reasons.
And not just because they're solo travellers. Some people who are in relationships just have different,
100%,
ideas.
yeah.
And, maybe want a break from each other, which, that is... or a group of girls wanting to go away, but they want single rooms. And there's a big market for it.
And I've noticed that a lot. So I'll come back to that. But so they spotted a gap in the market in Scottish touring, and they then formed Just You in the millennium, the year 2000. So it's our 25th anniversary this year. And Just You's just gone from strength to strength, because the solo market
over the last few years, I've definitely seen an increase in even our inquiries for the solo market.
And just like you touched on there earlier, Linda, I was surprised at it when I started. I'm nearly 2 years in the role now, but almost a quarter of our customers are actually not single, but they prefer to travel solo. And there's a variety of different reasons for that. You touched on a few, but especially females, we find that as they get a wee bit more mature, sometimes they've got different wants and needs from their travel to what their partners have got. And I've met quite a few customers through events that I've done with trade partners, and I've also been on a Just You. I've done a Just You tour to South America with customers in March.
I know, I was saw it on social media. You're rubbing it in.
I know, I was rubbing it in.
Great.
Trip of a lifetime, because I always wanted to do South America as well. But there was two ladies on that tour with me in the group of 15 who were both married, but their husbands don't want to travel long haul. They just want to go to the Algarve and play golf, and whereas both the ladies they want to do long haul, and
it's interesting because we're seeing that, especially with ladies, especially for whatever reason. Maybe it's because the guys are going off golfing or going, walking the Great Wall of China, and it's just not what they want to do, but they still want to travel.
Yeah.
But they don't want to share a room because. So it's a great product.
And one of the ladies I spoke to, Sandra, she was on her 5th tour with Just You. She'd done China, Japan, Canada, South America, and I think she's done one of the tours of the States with us as well.
What we've found with our solo travellers, with the likes of Just You, is you're absolutely right about she's done 4 or 5 tours, they will book again.
Yeah, they very much are become repeat bookers.
We've got customers who have travelled on solo trips and have now made friends for life, and they just now travel the world together.
Yeah.
And it's great. And they wouldn't have met each other if it hadn't been for going on a holiday.
Going on a holiday, yeah. And I think Just You gives them a nice, safe environment to do it. And they're part of a group. You never really feel like you're on your own. That's the first time I've done a solo holiday when I went in March, and I was a bit nervous before it as well. So I totally understand why a customer doing it for the first time would feel a bit of anxiety.
Not even as much anxiety. I think there's a, people think it's something it's not. I'm going on a solo holidays to look for a partner. No, you're not.
No, you're not, yeah.
You're absolutely not. There's other things for that. There's online dating, there's Tinder, all the other things.
100%.
Solo holidays. But I think over the years, solo holidays maybe have had a bit of a bad press for that. So it's about educating people that's absolutely, it's about kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Going and juicing in a safe environment. And they travel all over the world. They do Just You in the UK.
Yeah.
But they also do...
That's right, yeah, because a lot of our customers will start off with doing a UK one. We do a lot, especially round about now, about the festive time.
And realise you don't bite.
Exactly, yeah. And probably realise what I realised when I went to South America, you never really feel like you're travelling solo, because you very quickly get to know the rest of the group, and everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's a solo traveller. A lot of them are doing it for the first time as well. I met two ladies in particular who were part of the group. We got on great. Like, we had proper same sense of humour and everything, and we've met up twice since we came back already. We meet up every 3 months for lunch, and once...
there's a lot of that, definitely. So one of our customers who did a Just You in Edinburgh, of all places,
really?
And it was a New Year trip. She didn't want to be on her own at New Year, so she went on a Just You. I didn't even know Just You did UK trips, I'm going to be honest, until this customer, and now she travels on solo trips. And has met friends for life, and just literally going around the world now. So.
Yeah, exactly, and because it's, as I say, it's a safe environment. They very quickly get to make friends with the group. They're guaranteed that one of our booking guarantees with Just You is they're always guaranteed a twin or a double room for sole occupancy. So they always get the room to themselves, but it's never a single room. So I always joke about it, but they're never in the cupboard at the back of the hotel.
Don't
overlooking
you just hate that for solo travellers?
Yes.
So, yes, and we're not going to start getting into the solo supplements. Customers complain about having to pay solo supplements, which if they're in a double room for sole use, I get that. But it's when you go and they're put in a cupboard.
I know.
I mean,
and pay double the price.
Most hotels don't have rooms like that now, though.
It's changed. That has changed.
Yeah, the whole world has accepted that there is a solo market, and they need the same as everybody else.
100%. Yeah. So they're guaranteed that room, so they get treated like anybody else would on holiday, which is exactly the way it should be. No single supplements as well. The price advertised as a solo price. And they've got the holiday director with them pretty much from when they land at their destination airport. They're with the group for the duration of the tour.
That's great.
First thing they do is set up a WhatsApp group for everyone so that everybody can keep in contact.
I know what's happening.
And they're very good. The Just You holiday directors, they're very good at knitting the group together because they've got really good experience at dealing with solo customers. They know what a solo customer's wanting and needing out of their holiday. So they're they're there as much as they're needed at the start of the tour until the group starts to kind of knit together, and then they're very good at then just kind of blending off into the background. But they're always there if required, which is great. But I mean, I think the tour I did, we were in South America 12 nights, and there was only 2 organised dinners, but we all went out and ate out as a group on the 10 nights where there wasn't anything arranged for us because it was a group of 15, so it was a nice size.
Yeah, to get to know everybody.
And everybody, we just all went out and dined out together at night. It was nice.
Great.
As I say, you never really felt like you were on a solo holiday.
But you had your own room and peace if you wanted it.
Yeah, you could go and have your own space. You want to go off for a wander and stuff like that. You could do. It's not like you don't ever feel like you're on like an organised school trip. You have to do everything. Because I always remember the day that we were in Rio actually. The first day in Rio, so we were up at crack of dawn because we went up Christ the Redeemer first thing, as you have to do to get up there because it's so busy. And then in the afternoon we were doing Sugarloaf Mountain. And there was a couple of ladies in their 70s, so they're a wee bit older than the rest of the group. And they were, we'd got to the bottom of Sugarloaf Mountain, we were waiting on the cable car, and they decided that they didn't want to do Sugarloaf. They wanted to just go back to the hotel and have a bit of afternoon tea and maybe a wee hour in the spa. And it was, and so they just spoke to the holiday director. Holiday was like, yep, that's fine. He went and got them a taxi, put them in a taxi back to the hotel. So while the rest of us went up Sugarloaf, they were wining and dining back at the hotel. But I always think it's a good story to tell that, because people that haven't done an escorted tour before, I think they always think that you have to go and do everything. You don't. It's still very much your holiday. Mm-hmm. So if you know, a situation like that where you have had an early start and you're a bit tired and you just want to go and relax, you can absolutely do so.
Or if one of the days just isn't your cup of tea, you don't fancy
100%, yeah, just sit it out and go and do your own thing.
And that's the same, let's talk about Travelsphere now, which is the kind of main brand.
Yeah.
And there's still solo travellers will go on Travelsphere holidays.
Yeah. So with Just You, they're always guaranteed to be travelling with other solo travellers, because we only exist for solo customers. Mm-hmm. So that's where Just You stands out a bit from some of our competitors, because some of our competitors in the market will do a solo tour, but they'll mix it with couples. You won't ever have that to deal with on Just You. They're only ever travelling solo with other solo customers. But we do also get solo customers, like you've rightly said, that they prefer to travel Travelsphere and travel with couples and things. Mm-hmm. So they absolutely can do that. But yeah, Travelsphere's for everyone.
Yeah. And where does Travelsphere go?
Probably be easy to ask me, where does Travelsphere not go?
Correct.
So we go all over Europe. But our top sellers in Europe is always Italy. Italy's always...
The Italy tours are amazing.
Amazing, yeah. So we do, for both brands actually, Travelsphere and Just You, we do a grand tour of Italy, which is like a top to toe. Literally toe of Italy. Because it'll start off in... They fly into like Verona and they do the north. They do Pisa, Florence, Rome, Bologna. They do a bit of the Amalfi Coast, Capri, Pompeii and all that. And then they usually finish off in Sicily. So we've got for both brands, the top to toe of Italy, but then we also do the more regionalised ones as well. So we do tours that just incorporate Amalfi Coast, Pompeii and Capri, with a bit of Naples. We do Apulia and Basilicata, which is like the heel of Italy, if you like. We do the lakes, and we do the likes of Tuscany and Florence as well. So there's both parts of it. If you like, if you want to do a more specialised regional tour of Italy, you can do. If you want to do it all.
And it is the way to do Italy, because so many people just literally fly into, the likes of Naples and do Sorrento. But Italy has got so much to offer.
So much.
That's why these tours are so popular. And people fall in love with Italy and want to see all the regional parts and
I think so, yeah.
The more rustic parts of Italy.
And our tours are it's a really good value way of taking in Italy as well. Like our so Amalfi Coast, Pompeii and Capri for Travelsphere is our top seller every year. But it leads in at like 1,499 per person, and that's a week. And so you're getting all your excursions and highlights are all included. So all your Pompeii and your boat ride to Capri and all that's all included in that. A fair chunk of your meals are included as well. Whereas, I know from when I was a travel agent, people that used to book like maybe a 4-night break to Sorrento to stay in a nice standard 4 or 5 star hotel.
£1,200 easily.
Yeah.
And if you try and break it down, the tours are really good value for money.
Yeah.
But sometimes you've got to do that for a customer, because you give them the price and they go, oh, that's expensive. But it's not if you work it down what is actually included.
100%. Yeah.
And also, if you just go to Sorrento for a week, you're not going to do all these things.
No.
Because you end up getting caught up lying by the pool or having, a Aperol Spritz too many.
Or 3.
No judgment. But if you book a tour, then you're doing this on Monday, you're doing this on Tuesday. You're going to see Italy, so go and see Italy.
Go and see it, yeah. And a lot of our short haul tours are what we call relax and discover or relax and explore. So they stay in the one hotel for the duration of the tour.
So you're not unpacking all the time.
Yeah, because the tour is it's regionalised, so the hotel's centrally located for everything that they're doing in the itinerary. But that one that I mentioned, Amalfi Coast, Pompeii and Capri, they get a full day at leisure in Sorrento to go and explore it themselves. So you've done the guided tour already, and you can then pinpoint where you want to go back and spend a bit more time. I did that in South America. We were in Buenos Aires for 3 nights. On the first day, we'd done the city tour of Buenos Aires, which was like a whistle stop of all the main attractions. Mm-hmm. But then day 3 was a full day at leisure in Buenos Aires, and I wanted to go back to La Boca, which is the area where basically where tango dancing was born. And
so here's a question: did you learn some tango?
Yes, but I've got 2 left feet.
If the podcast studio was bigger, we could have a demonstration.
Yeah,
but,
thank God it's not. Yeah,
you'll knock the microphone over.
Yeah. But you know, it was great because you'd had the tour of the city, and then you pinpoint the places that you want to go back and spend a bit of time on your own.
Yeah.
And then we went for a really nice lunch down by the river in Buenos Aires, and it was they have these restaurants called churrascarias in South America, which is basically you pay a set fee, and it's basically an all you can eat buffet, and you get all your cold meats and cheeses and breads and all that kind of thing, and then they just keep coming around with all these different cuts of meat off the skewers. And the first time they come around, you take like 2 and 3 bits of everything because you think they're only going to come around once. No,
they
keep coming around and round and round, and it's like Christmas Day meat sweats by the end of it. You're like, I cannot face any more meat. But that one that we had in Buenos Aires, we got a nice bottle of wine with it as well. There was 3 of us. I think we paid $32 each.
And that was for everything? For
everything. Great. And it was right in downtown Buenos Aires, so right in the...
So South America is the kind of hot destination just now, isn't it? Everybody wants
so popular,
yeah. Really popular. So obviously Travelsphere and Just You do South America.
Yes, we do South America. We've just brought out a new tour actually with Travelsphere for 2026, which does Peru. So it does your Sacred Valley, Machu Picchu, Cusco, Lima, Lake Titicaca as well, but it also combines all of that. That's a great
name for a place, isn't
Love
it? You've been dying to say that all day.
I know, I didn't stutter once either. But it combines that with 3 nights in the Amazon. And whilst they're in the Amazon, they stay in like a lodge, so like an eco lodge, but they've also got an evening cruise through the Amazon. So they get to see all the wildlife at night, and
the bird life over there is amazing.
Oh, amazing! Yeah.
Whether you're a bird watcher or not, it would be pretty special.
Pretty special, yeah. And the reason we put a lot of our tours together, Travelsphere and Just You, heavily based on consumer feedback, because we asked customers to fill out a survey if they've been on holiday with us. And customers told us that was what they wanted. They'd done Peru with us, but rather than having to pay extra to do an add-on for the Amazon, they wanted a tour where the Amazon was incorporated and included in the price. So that's why we put that together for 2026. That was heavily based on customer feedback. Yeah.
That's interesting. And so a lot of the tours, can you do like pre and post if you want?
Yeah, so we do a lot of fixed add-ons with our tours. So another one that's just come out for Travelsphere for 2026, brand new destination actually, Spirit of Indonesia. And that does Java, Komodo and Bali, and they can do a 3-night add-on in Bali at the end of that tour. So it's chill. Like a 16-day tour, so you can imagine you probably want 3 nights just to chill in Bali after the tour. And they're doing Jakarta, and they do that island where the Komodo dragons are. They do the pink sandy beach as well, which you've probably seen in the photographs.
Again, Indonesia's a place that when I've been in travel a long time, as the listeners know, it was very popular back in the day, and then it just seemed to
drop off the map a wee bit.
Drop off the world, yeah. But interestingly, as you and obviously Travelsphere are reacting to the market, it's starting to make a bit of a comeback, which is nice.
Yeah, that whole part of the world, actually, the Far East is so popular now. You know, we've noticed a massive rise over the last couple of years. Japan and China are so popular now.
Since COVID, Japan is nuts. You can't just come in and say, I want to go to Japan next week. You're booking 2 years in advance to get what you want in Japan.
And then, one for your viewers and listeners, because Japan was a big seller for us when I was at Abercrombie in Kent as well. If you want Japan, you need to be prepared to book it 2 years in advance.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just not going to get what you want. Yeah. Whether it's a tour or whether you're doing a tailor-made trip, it has to be booked early. And
everybody wants cherry blossom season.
Yes, everybody wants cherry blossom.
If only they could work out how to have cherry blossom all year round.
I know.
Or tourism would.
Well, listen, watch this space.
No, I'm going. I can't. It's cherry blossom April, May time, isn't
it? Yes,
yeah.
So, like all our destinations, with our tours, we only go to the destinations at the optimum time of year for touring. So, for Japan, for example, we do cherry blossom April, May, and then we do the fall, which is October, November time. And actually, as a wee tip for your viewers, the fall's equally as beautiful as cherry blossom.
Okay.
And tends to be a bit cheaper. Flight costs tend to be a wee bit cheaper because it's not as popular as cherry blossom, but it's equally as beautiful. I've not been myself, by the way. That's our Japan product manager that tells me that.
That'll be your next one. And tell us about flights. Obviously, a lot of the flights are going to be based out of London, but do you do regional add-ons, or can we use a bit of Emirates?
When I started with G Touring back in what are we now? 2022 I was when I started. We weren't great at regionals, being honest with you. Something I've fought the cause for. Obviously, I'm in charge of Scotland and the North, so I need regionals. So we've massively increased regionals. So we've now got three. Off the top of my head, I think it's 375 tours with departure dates that have direct regionals out of Edinburgh, Glasgow, or Newcastle.
Well done, Jason.
So, and there's more to come, by the way. I've not finished banging that drum. Obviously, I need my agents to sell it, because the more they sell it and support it, the more I can get. So we've massively increased. So we use Emirates, for example, out of Glasgow for destinations such as Vietnam, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. So, because I think customers would much rather fly out of Glasgow through Dubai than have to go
through London,
Glasgow to London and then maybe an overnight in Heathrow. So we've got a lot of direct regionals, and as I say, hopefully more to come on that score.
And I think that's testament to your hard work, Jason. And I say this to all my reps in Scotland. You know, we like to support our suppliers that have made a commitment to Scotland.
Yeah, of course.
Because if something goes wrong, I want to be able to pick up the phone to you and get your help. If I'm dealing with somebody down in London, or as you said before, Chicago, no chance. You know, you can't build relationships with these people.
No, absolutely not.
We've got great relationships with our Scottish reps. So so thank you for all that you do. And we're out of time. Can you believe that?
Are we out of time? Is that half an hour?
I know.
I could keep talking for hours.
There's method in my madness. Just doing half an hour, it means I have to get you back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because it's ever evolving. There's going to be new destinations.
Yeah.
And thank you. And heading into Christmas, can't believe we're at the end of the year.
I know. How is it Christmas already?
And
it's
you're one of our last podcasts of 2025.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming down.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for all your support.
I know you've got a sore back today sitting in there.
I have, but I've forgotten about it while we were chatting.
Oh, there you go.
That was good.
Good. But thank you so much. And that's us, another episode of Let's Talk About Travel, and look forward to getting Jason back on with lots more to talk about. So thank you.